welcome to Mad Cow Gaming.
Let's move!
Alright, they're gonna see the title, but as tradition, what are we doing today?
Well, I think we're going to be having a discussion about Pokemon. And Pokemon cards more specifically.
So, this discussion is going to largely be centered around me and my experience, as the title will suggest. But Jimmy will sprinkle in his own little tidbits about things as we go. So, let's start with your background on Pokemon. Oh, by the way, this is just some Pokemon-related scenery we threw in for effects. So, start with your background in Pokemon TCG.
So I never really got into the trading card game early. I was into the games when they came out, like when Red and Blue came out. I stole my sister's copy of Blue and took it to church and played it during church. Yeah, I was a good kid there. No, stole it, and number two, playing it during church. But I still have it. I still have that copy. And then, I've played plenty of the games since then. The card game I never really got into until, I want to say until I met you, pretty much.
So, I'm going to go ahead and assume that I'm like the first real person you had to play the game with.
Yes, for sure.
Did you play with anybody other than me? Like your sister?
Nope, my sister never played. I didn't really meet you I don't think I really met you until she moved out, so... Okay. Yeah, and then she moved like an hour away, so I don't see her that much.
So, should I tell? Well, let's start with
how did you get into the game?
My background. So, I am 41 years old. I have been playing Pokemon TCG for close to 3 decades, so more than half of my life.
Yeah.
It enabled me to build a lot of connections with a lot of friends. Unlike you, I had tons of people growing up to play Pokemon with. I played Pokemon with Bobby. I played Pokemon with Mike. I played Pokemon with Latrell, of course, which put a pin in that, on that one specifically. It was fun. I loved the anime. I loved the video games, so naturally I gravitated towards the card game, and I have an obsession with getting a lot of things. So, when I was younger, I played not only with my friends, I entered tournaments all the time. I even entered regionals before when I was younger. Never went anywhere spectacularly with it. But I do have one story regarding regionals. Now, it was a very, very long time ago, and I don't remember how far I went, but I remember how I lost. Did I ever tell you this story?
I believe you referenced it in a different video.
So... there was one time I was playing this kid, and Plus Power and Defender, do you remember what those do?
No.
So, Plus Power, I don't remember the numerical digits, but Plus Power gives you more damage on your attack phase.
Okay.
Defender is the opposite. It lets you take less damage on your opponent's attack phase, because Defender is a trainer, and I don't know if they had classifications back then, because you remember at one point they were all
items.
Just items.
Yep.
Well, anyway, so if I would have played Plus Power, I would have won. Combining that with my card's attack power at that time, I would have won. But in my excitement in realizing that, I accidentally set down Defender. And the judge didn't see it. But sure enough, my opponent did.
Yeah.
And he's like, Judge! And so the judge asked me, and I was honest.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, I did that. And then he was able to beat me on his next turn. So that's just a fun little story on how I lost in regionals. I didn't think I made it very far at that point. That was so long ago. Well, anyway, it was just a fun way to connect with my friends, and it meant a whole lot to me. And I feel like that's all I need to really address as far as how I got into it. So what do we want to move on to next?
I mean, I have a similar story with Magic the Gathering, but...
Go ahead.
Okay, so I was in a regional tournament. I was playing a deck that could kill you in one turn. if it went off. I lost a couple of games beforehand because I couldn't get it to go off. Well, it finally goes off, and my opponent plays a card that basically cancels it. So I'm like, well, crap. We go into the second round, and I think about what I want to do, and I change my deck out a little bit because you're allowed to pull out cards and put in other cards that you have sideboarded, it's called.
Okay.
I need to say, I still lost, but if I would have played my turn differently, I would have won that first game. If I would have thought about it and thought about how the cards worked, I would have won, but I didn't, so I lost.
Hindsight is a bitch.
Yeah. Like, I thought about it right afterwards. I'm like, you know what? If I would have did this instead, I would have been able to win. But I didn't, and I lost.
Well, and that's one of those memories that you just, for better or for worse,
it sticks with you.
You remember that because the hobby as a whole had an impact on you.
Yeah.
Now, were you into Magic as much as I was Pokemon?
Probably not, because again, I didn't really have a whole lot of people to play with. I know when I was in high school, Magic the Gathering was bigger than Pokemon because there were actually kids playing at the lunchroom tables. They were playing Magic back then.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever saw anybody playing Pokemon, even in high school. But yeah, they were definitely playing Magic. And I would watch because I wouldn't have any cards. And I'd be like, oh, this is cool, yeah, okay. And then I finally got some cards, but I just never had anybody to play with.
That was the opposite for one of my schools. I moved around a lot, so I had different schools. But one of my schools, Pokemon was king. It got so bad to the point where the principal literally said, "Do not bring Pokemon cards to school."
Oh, that was a big thing in a lot of schools, lot of schools back when it was at its peak. Like right now, it's coming back, but for the wrong reasons. But at its peak back in the day, when kids wanted to play it, kids wanted to trade their cards. Yeah, it was a big thing in school.
You know what? Actually, I have a spur of the moment question for you because you're religious.
Yeah.
How do you feel? And I know Pokemon wasn't the only game to experience this, but how do you feel about the extremists saying Pokemon is evil because of evolution, yada yada, demons, all that? How, as a Christian, how do you feel?
I mean, I play Magic, I play Neopets, I play video games, I play all that stuff, so I don't have that view. I can see where they're coming from, but it's just cards. It's just cardboard. It's
looking too deep into it.
Yeah, it's a fun thing to do. Now, if you like really believe that, like, oh yeah, I'm actually going to summon this card, or this creature's actually evolving and it's getting better and different, then yeah, maybe I can see. Well, you're pushing it too far there because you're pushing it too far there if you're really thinking it's actually happening. Because I mean, I play D&D and it's the same thing. When that came out, that was huge with the religious crowd.
Oh my god, back in the 70s?
So bad. Even into the 80s. Even in the 80s and early 90s. Because I remember still being a big thing when I was growing up with it. But yeah, I see where they're coming from, but I don't feel it. I have family members that are religious that won't let their kids watch like Harry Potter or anything Disney or anything like that. But yeah, no, that's just not me.
That's fair. I was just curious. It popped in my head.
Yep.
So, now, before I dive into the main focus of this video, I want to tell the story real quick of remember how I said put a pin in Latrell?
Yep.
So, I know you know this story, but I'm going to tell it anyway for the 5 people that are watching this video. So when I worked at Subway many, many moons ago, I worked alongside Latrell. At that point, he was just another crew member. And so there was one day I was on break. And I was like, hey, I'm going to go out and sit in the break room. I'll be back when my break's up. So I had my Pokemon cards with me. I was just messing around with them. I wasn't doing anything. I was just looking at them. And all of a sudden, we didn't have any customers. I see Latrell. He's behind. If you've ever been in a Subway, you know the glass. You can look. He was sitting there looking over. I was like, what the hell is that kid doing? That's so weird. And he goes, is that Pokemon? And I'm like, yeah, you like Pokemon? He goes, yeah, I like Pokemon. And then when I came back from break, he went on his. But when he came back from that, we were like, hey, blank, our boss, wasn't supposed to be in that day. I blanked his name out because he's a piece of garbage. Neither here nor there.
Well, you shouldn't call him out anyway.
Yeah, okay, well, I did. Anyway, so Latrell was like, "Hey, we're slow. We don't got nothing going on. How about we go back on the prep table and have a Pokemon battle?" Should we have done that?
No.
No. Now, to be clear, we cleaned and sanitized and everything. It's not that deep. So we're sitting there playing, right? And now keep in mind, Blank wasn't supposed to be there today, so we weren't prepared for that. So my Subway was inside of another business. And so all of a sudden we heard Blank's voice. And then me and Latrell looked at each other and we were like, oh shit! And so you only have about 30 seconds from the start of the main business till you come around the corner and go into the Subway. So me and Latrell are sitting there scrambling to get our cards away. We stuff our cards in our pockets. And sure enough, pretty much right when we get the cards off the table, Blank walks in. We did not get caught. But after Blank left again, me and Latrell were just like, we just became instant great friends because of that. And that's a story we relived many times.
Oh, yeah.
I just think that's a fun little...
Yeah, I mean, that's similar to how we met, too.
Yeah, it was, which will be addressed another day.
Yep.
So, the title. Let's not delay it any further. I am getting rid of all roughly 20,000 Pokemon cards. At the time this video goes live, they're all going to be gone. So, right here we have just some decks, some of Jimmy's decks he brought over, and because you still have some of your cards left.
I kept some of my decks, and I kept some of my better cards. But all in all, I sold him all of my commons, uncommons, foil rares, holo rares, whatever you want to call them. Anything that wasn't like a full art card or an EX card, those I kept. I sold them. I was like, okay, well, I would have taken these to a flea market, put them in a box, sold the whole box for $10. Because, I mean, you can do that. Like, I would take an Elite Trainer box, fill it up with Pokemon cards, put it on my table, say, no, you can't go through it, $10 takes the whole box. I mean, there's like a couple hundred cards in there, so $10 was a good deal.
I mean, you could have sold them individually on Facebook Marketplace or something like that,
Yeah,
but
it would take
time investment.
How much is my time and energy worth? It ain't worth that much. But so I brought everything over, and I'm like, well, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I counted out like 15 boxes or so. And I was like, well, give me $100 for them.
And didn't I traded you the Saturn along with it?
No. I said, give me $100 for it, and you said, well, how about I just trade you the Saturn for it?
Oh yeah.
I was like, okay, that works because I can sell that easier than selling all these Pokemon cards.
Which is kind of ironic because now I'm getting rid of my cards and I'm trying to get a Saturn back.
Yep.
Which is, I just think that's funny.
I already told him I'd sell it back to him for $100.
So the main reason I am choosing to get rid of my cards is a multitude of reasons, but it boils down to, for one, I'm 41. We're into video games, not just for the content or everything, we just are into video games. I don't have the time and the money to keep investing in so many hobbies. Sorry about that. Don't know what happened there. But anyway, as I was saying, video games and cards aren't my only hobby. So keeping in mind with everything I do, my age, something just had to go because I don't want to be, how's the phrase go? Glass half full? Like,
I don't know what you're trying to get
so
at.
what I'm saying is I don't want to go halfway into so many different things. I want to give my attention, my full attention.
You don't want to half-ass something. You want to full-ass it.
Yeah, I guess that's there. So, and that's not the only reason too. And this is something you can relate to even with Magic. Though it's not as bad with Magic as it is Pokemon. The market is stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Every time a new set comes out, you have to wait like a year before you can frickin' get packs. And even then, you're still not going to be paying what the MSRP should be.
You are definitely paying over retail, yeah.
Yes, and I know that's a problem in Magic. Again, not as bad as Pokemon.
Yeah, it's not as bad. And that's what I was getting at when I was talking about Pokemon being big. Because Pokemon being big now is not so much kids playing it and trading the cards and having fun with it.
Yeah.
It's grown-ass adults camping out in front of Target and Walmarts waiting for them to get their shipments in and then going in. And these stores have a limit that they're not allowed to buy over it, and they either find a way around it or they just don't care, and the store doesn't care and just sells it all to one person.
Sure, a lot of stores don't care because they get their money.
Right.
Which is, it's kind of ironic because they say, and I agree, games like Pokemon, Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, and all that, they are not children's game.
No.
But there sure are a whole lot of grown-ass children playing them.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't even want to say...
And playing is even a stretch.
Right, I was about to say that. Because, like, a lot of times you'll get people that are in, like, the sneakerhead... They don't give a crap about the hobby. They just want to jump in something that's popular so they can make as much money as possible.
Yeah.
And... Go ahead.
So we were sitting at a local game shop the other day going through some Neopets cards, and this old dude.
Oh!
Old dude. I mean, this dude had to be in like his 60s or 70s. Comes in and starts talking to the store owner about buying boxes of the One Piece trading card game. Not to open them, not to collect them, to resell it. He flat out said it that he was going to resell it. The dude was like, well, I mean, if you buy it, I'm going to have to, like, open it and pull out this and do that, so that he would have to open it so it's no longer sealed, so the guy couldn't resell it as brand new.
Yeah.
And, I mean, this dude talked with him for a while, and I'm just like, this dude had probably never heard of One Piece, let alone the One Piece trading card game, before, like, 2 days ago when he saw how popular it was and how much money he could feasibly make on it. And he said he's been in this kind of business for, like, 30 years or so. It was just the most uncomfortable conversation I think I've ever had to listen to.
I mean, but to be fair, the clerk handled it like a champ.
He did. I mean, he interacted with the guy and talked to him. He even told him that he doesn't like scalpers, and this dude is flat out telling him that he's a scalper.
And assuming that old dude was telling the truth, that just really illustrates the problem.
Yeah. Because it's not in just Pokemon. It is in every trading card game. Yes, it's not in any of them as much. But anything, it's going to be like that. I mean, we haven't tried to buy Neopet cards individually, so we might have to run into that problem if we try to buy something individually. But yeah, it's just bad out there.
Yeah, and so it sucks because like I said, I have invested so much time, and it's not just the time; it's the emotional investment as well.
Yeah. And
some people may call this silly. But getting rid of my cards made me emotional into a sense where I don't recall actually crying, but I felt like I wanted to. Because I invested it's been a huge part of my life. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And so let's touch on your reasons for selling.
My reason for selling was mostly I was getting too many cards and I was running out of space because I, again, have multiple hobbies just like you. Like, I have my Magic the Gathering, I have video games, I collect Funko Pops, I have all different kinds of little... I'm starting a record collection and CDs, yeah. I mean, not like...
I didn't know that.
Well, I'm not going up there and buying, like, the Beatles because the Beatles are awesome. No, I personally hate the Beatles. I'll never buy a Beatles record. I hate the Beatles. But I buy records that I like. Like, I have a bunch of Frank Sinatra records. I have a bunch of, I have a Star Wars records. I have records that I like, not necessarily worth a whole lot. But yeah, so I got that. I got my Funko Pops. I got all kinds of little hobbies that I have collections of. Legos. I got a ton of Legos. Oh my goodness.
I used to do that.
Oh, there's another one that's bad.
Oh, Skylanders. I have a lot of them.
Yeah.
I have well over 300 of them.
But yeah, I needed room, I needed money, and getting rid of all of those Pokemon cards and just getting a Saturn was so much less space.
Yeah. And, whenever you sold your cards to, well, traded, I guess
yeah, whatever you want to call it, yeah.
Whenever you trade/sold your cards to me and my card, we understand that we are not getting the value back that we put into initially obtaining them. But it's so much easier because it's like, again, how much is your time and effort and value worth?
For sure.
And so, like, yeah, that's really it. It's growing. It's sad growing, but it's growing and moving on and experiencing new things.
Yeah.
I don't personally have anything else to add. Are we anything else that we feel like we should mention?
I mean, I've had similar experience with my Magic cards.
Okay.
I had a whole bunch, I know. I played it religiously. Every Friday I went to a game shop and I was playing. A new set was about to roll out. I had just spent a lot of money building a deck.
Okay.
And I was late getting to the store, so I couldn't join the tournament for what would be the last tournament that half these cards were legal in. So I was just, and that stabbed me hard. I was so mad about that. That was what started my decline from Magic the Gathering. And then, like I said, I was going to do it with the Pokemon cards. I did that with my Magic the Gathering cards. I think I asked $10. I'm like, I took a box, just put a whole bunch of random cards in it. That time there was no rares in there because the rares I had already sorted out, and I think I actually sold those to a store.
Okay.
But yeah, I was like, yeah, I mean, $10, you can have the whole box. I don't know what's in there. There's older cards, there's newer cards, and everybody was like, okay. And I put 3 or 4 out in one day, and they were gone before we finished setting up. So I'm like, okay, I know I didn't get my money back. I know I could have done more, but it would just be too much work.
No regret?
I mean, a little bit. I don't think I really had anything in there that would have been worth a whole lot. So, not a big regret. Because I am probably going to do something similar again. Because I'm getting a massive collection again that is taking up space. And I am moving from my house that I have my bedroom and another bedroom that I can fill up with crap to a house that has one bedroom that I will be sharing with somebody else and a basement that I can't fill up with my crap because
no spare rooms.
No, she has the other room. The other bedroom will be her office, so I can't put my crap in there. So yeah, I'm really gonna have to look at downsizing on some stuff. So I will have to start getting rid of my magic
you'll
cards.
have your basement.
Yeah, but that's gonna be full of everything else that we have. Like it'll be full of my video games. Or I have all my Funkos down there. I have a bunch of our Legos down there. So yeah, I'll have to start getting rid of my Magic cards again.
Well, so yeah, this was a relatively quick journey that we wanted to take you on with us. So I guess that's going to end this little discussion piece here. Anything else you'd like to say before we stop?
I don't think so. I tried to convince him to keep some of his decks so that we could still play from every now and then, but he wants to rip the Band-Aid off, just get rid of it all.
Yeah. And it's not like I can't borrow your deck every once in a while if we choose to.
Right. I have a couple that are basically like starter decks, like the pre-made decks that we can play.
Well, everyone, we again like to thank you for joining us and take care. Thank you, everyone, for watching the video.
And if you haven't already, please be sure to hit the subscribe button.
Also, don't forget to turn on all notifications so you never miss an upload.
Have a great day and keep on gaming.